All right, I wanted to do a video on um, Studio, um, Lego Builder, Mecabricks, and PartDesigner. So I've previously done videos on me making custom stuff on YouTube, and I'm not really big on YouTube, but this is my first tutorial attempt, and I had to learn some stuff the other day, and one of the things the YouTube video that I watched showed, I'll link the YouTube video in the bottom, but one of the things that the video I watched showed was how to build a custom part that curved properly. Now, if any of you have tried doing any kind of curving in Studio, it's very broken. Um, it doesn't really, especially the flexibility stuff, it doesn't really function properly. It becomes kind of like a wet noodle when you try and do something. So for this, I needed a size 18 or 19. I can't remember the actual size. Hose that's ribbed. This how I designed this thing was based off of the hose as the bumper, or whatever you want to call it. And when you use this function, you can do things where you can turn this and create a curvature. But because of how Studio works, it's all like gravity based, but it's also kind of broken in a sense that um, it doesn't stay on the same level, and it's very finicky to try and get it on the same level. And then if you do wind up getting on the same level, you have to kind of hope gravity puts the thing back in its place, but as you can see, it doesn't really stay in its place, and it doesn't really go in its place. And it becomes a bit of a noodle, as I said, a wet noodle, when you're trying to do this stuff. So we go down to this hose and focus on the hose. You see it's all kind of broken. It doesn't stay on the same plane and whatever. So to try and get it to stay on the same plane, you can create a custom tool in Mecabricks, or a custom part in Mecabricks, and then import it into PartDesigner. But the video that I watched didn't show how to create connection points so that your custom part can slide in and out of the connection points properly. And that's what I'm going to showcase today is the connection point aspect. Sorry it took a while to get to that point, but sometimes I ramble. So as you can see, it's not really staying on the same plane as you'd like. So if you go into Mecabricks here, you can see I've already created the part. Now I had previously done the part in Studio, um, and if I turn collision on, you can see it's colliding. I messed up something on this side of it, so I'm going to put a new part in, and you'll see how it functions when I put it in. So if we go over to Mecabricks again, you can see here, I've basically made it all symmetrical with how this lines up, but to do the pathing and everything, it's all based off of this little button here, and you can create the curvature and you do some stuff to divide it up so that you can basically round it, and this fits the curvature of what I'm trying to build, just like the actual hose does now. So now what I do is just delete these, select that, go export that as wavefront, export, saved as untitled model. We'll pull that untitled model up and unzip it. And we're going to overwrite the stuff that is already existing because this is going to be a better version. And then we're going to go into parts, and now that we're in Parts Designer, we just import a 3D object. So now it's the wrong size. I know that it's 8 by 7, so I can kind of put it in the corner here. We have to resize it. So there's my 8 there. And 8 there. So that's roughly the size of the hose. Stud to stud. Wall to wall. You kind of want it to be the exact size. There. So now what I've found is when you import this piece into Studio, it no longer has connection points, but you can easily go connectivity. You pick what you want, is stud, bottom, I don't know, clips or whatever, or custom. I just chose pinhole, which is this one here. They have different types of holes. There's a peg hole and whatever. So pinhole, we rotate that, and I'm gonna place 1 and 2, and then go back to select. Now this is where it gets a little finicky, and it might be too much for some people to do this stuff, but this definitely makes it worthwhile. You want to find what your x-axis, your y-axis, and all that stuff is for the part that you're trying to put together. And so you try and line it up as best as possible, but you're going to have to do some custom values to get it perfect. And you can see like the holes not lined up. So you just kind of play with that. And so this is 3.5. 0.4, oops, 0.4, 0.5, 0.46, 0.47. 0.47 seems about right. How does it line up at the front? It's a little far forward, but I think that's okay with this one. And then obviously we have to go up a bit. So which one's that? No, -4 is where we want that. 0.4, 0.5, 0.45. Not quite right. 0.46 is about where we want it. So 3.7, 3.47. So take this one and just go 3.47, and then -4. And what do we say for this? 46. 0.46. And that should line up. See, not quite. Not quite the same. There we go. 4.7 for that one. don't know why they're off by that much, but it doesn't matter either way. Go back to shape. You can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 studs across. Starting here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Goes up 7 to here. So that's done. And now that we've got this finished, we click on that. We go export to studio. We go bumper hose, just so we can find it easier. You can put the Bricklink item number in here if you want. And that'll, like, when you do the parts list, it might help. But we'll just click export. Done. Go into studio. And we'll take this thing off. Actually, before we do that, go custom parts. So you can see I've done this a few times. There's bumper hose there. Put it there. So this one and this one are very similar in how they are shaped, except the new one shouldn't collide. Oh, this one actually might be a little bit bigger. Either way, change that to flat silver. And it slides right in, connectivity-wise. And that's what we're here to show, is the connectivity. How it just merges in perfectly. If you didn't have this, you'd have to go through some finagling on this side of things to line it up properly, but now it just slides into the pegs properly. And if I turn collision on, oh, it's still colliding. Ah, well, we tried our best to fix the collision, but yeah, I don't know what it's colliding with. Probably still those macaroni pieces, but either way, that shows you how to use the connection points for it. If you're having connection, or not connection, but if you're having collision problems with your custom builds too, you just turn the collision off. But I found this works easier for doing this stuff with flexibility in general. Anyways, thanks for watching.